Okay, let me start.
Okay, now I just need to figure out how to quit without canceling the webinar. Okay, I think this will be okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me share my screen. And you please let me know if you can see that.
Yes. Yeah, and it's the correct. It's the good
It's the
mode.
correct one?
hmm
Okay, great.
Can we see anyone else that's in the webinar?
Yes, I can actually. I
I
can
can.
see the list of
Oh,
participants.
okay.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see 12 people in it.
Okay, great. So we maybe let's give it like 1 or 2 minutes and we can start.
hmm
Okay. Okay, so do you think we should start? Trey?
Yeah, I think we're good, just so we stay on time.
Okay, good. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Welcome to our webinar where we will explore the features of Roji Data Manager and Gunbarrel Plot. My name is Julia. I'm account executive from Roji Houston office, and I have Trey, who is our technical analyst from Roji Houston office, to helping me today. So I'm excited to show you today the enhanced functionality of Solo Data Manager for advanced well data visualization and understand how Gunbarrel Plot provides you the insights to the competitive landscape. So, but before we go into the specifics of the Gunbarrel Plot, I'd like to discuss how Solo operates, given that the Gunbarrel Plot is a part of the data manager in Solo. So here in the center, this is a series of databases we host on Amazon AWS servers. We are actually a technical partner with Amazon and we utilize their facilities. Solo Cloud is SOC2 Type 2 certified cloud database. And this certification is the highest level of security clearance that we can achieve in the industry in North America. And what that means is that we meet the highest standards of security, confidentiality, and availability that you can meet in the cloud space. As I said, Solo Cloud is a centralized database, meaning that different applications can pull and push data from the same database in real time. Most commonly, and most of our users are familiar with StarSteer, which is our geosteering and geoscience desktop application. A common workflow in StarSteer is to share geosteering projects in real time with multiple users, which eliminates the need for screenshots and exported emails, PDFs. Users can log in and in real time share the object tree, collaborate on interpretations, target line placement, updating well plans, gamma, grids, etc. But data flow around Solo Cloud may actually begin at the rig side, and we have a product called SoloBox. SoloBox is a piece of physical hardware It's a data aggregator actually that is placed on a drilling location. It connects to whatever EDR you have on location. It's vendor independent and it aggregates your data. What Solobox will do. Um, it will transmit your data to a proprietary Rogi WITSML server. On that WITSML server, our users have access to their data as well as the ability to control the data in more ways than they currently have access to. SoloFeed, sorry, this is a user interface that allows you to connect your Solo projects on the cloud to a WITSML stream and select whatever logs or surveys are relevant to your project and automatically stream them into your Solo project. We have DrillSpot. This is one of our newer applications. This application allows our users to create drilling dashboards that combine not only the real-time WITSML feeds, but also all of your real-time geosteering information. Because the application shares a central database inside of Solar Cloud, it means that DrillSpot has it has a unique access that no other drilling dashboard has to pull real-time well placement information from the geosteering team, as well as other geosteering metrics like distance from horizons, recently interpreted segments, deeps, and a visual version of where the well is placed. So Starlight, this is one of our more popular applications. This is a real-time viewing platform to visualize geosteering well placement data in real time. Everyone knows it's like available on web browsers and also on your iPhones or on Android devices. Everything is synchronized in real time with your StarSteer geosteering team. Any changes that are made to geosteering interpretation in StarSteer immediately reflected inside the Starlight. And we recently enhanced Starlight Web with a time versus depth widget designed to keep geologists informed about rig activities. Additionally, you can now display seismic on your Starlight iOS version. A couple years ago, we started getting an increased amount of requests to utilize that data outside of Solo Cloud. And what that means is a lot of geologists wanted to pull their completed project into Spotfire or Power BI. So a few years ago, we developed and released a tool called Solo Connect. This is a piece of called middleware for IT. It means that it is installed on your local network and it has a direct relationship with Solar Cloud. It allows you to create custom data exports, data pulls from Solar Cloud directly to local SQL server. And Data Manager. Data Manager is our primary interface for Solar Cloud. This is where our clients are able to organize and visualize all of their data in one place. It's not a complicated software or application that you need to install in your machine and constantly update, as well as DrillSpot and SoloFeed. It's all accessible through your web browser. Just open up your favorite browser, log into Solo, and you're all set. It's simple, it's available whenever and wherever you need it. And now let's open up my favorite web browser. And okay, here we go. And navigate to the Solo landing page. This is solo.cloud. This is the landing page where you will find all the products I just mentioned: Starlight, Data Manager, Drill Spot, Solo Feed, Solo Box, our help resources. Once there, let's click on the Data Manager icon to dive into its functionalities. So now within the Data Manager interface, over here on the left, we have a list of our global, or as I call them, master projects. I have only one for demo purposes, but most of our operators have 1 to 5. And hovering over a project shows key information such as coordinate system, object count, and modification date. And before we begin, just let me provide a brief overview of today's demo project. The project focuses, let me open it up in StarSteer. It focuses on the Cairns County data in the Eagle Ford Basin. It was created in collaboration with TGS, and it comprises over 200 wells, polygons, grids, sticks. So this is the project in Solo I opened up in StarSteer. And just as a reminder, within the data manager, we are essentially viewing a tabular representation of our data in StarSteer. And transferring all your data from your local machine to the data manager usually takes just a half an hour. And once transfer is done, data manager will always stay up to date. That we call it evergreen and in sync with your StarSteer projects. You don't have to, for example, when you TD a well, take your interpretations and your logs, save them out to master project because you're essentially working inside of your master project. Okay, so let's open up my global project. And you're going to see that this top section is starting to populate and show me all data I have on it. I have some capabilities like searching and filtering the data by object type. Also, if you want to work with some specific data, let's say with well attributes like, I don't know, oil production, proppant volume injected, you can configure the columns here, and you can also change the order of the attributes here. So, and if you have your attribute data, what I mean by that, it's like your production data, for example, production attribute. You can bring this data by clicking this button, import well attributes in the top right corner. We go ahead and hit select. And you can see I have an Excel spreadsheet with attributes. Let's open it up. And we have different options available here. We can either merge it or replace, as well as wells can be matched either by name or API. I manually selected the like the total proppant, like the data I want to bring, lateral length, cumulative oil, gas, water, spot date, BOE, formation, production status. And once I'm happy, I can hit import. And you see that the well attributes, in my case, well attributes for 0 wells have been successfully imported. That is because I've already imported all the data before the webinar. Okay, so another very valuable feature here. This is the insights table. You turn over here the button on the toolbar, and what this allows you to do, for instance, is click directly on the wells. You want to find out what well has what data. You click this on, and this will give you a big summary over here in the insights table, like the survey data, the well header information. What else? We have the geosteering interpretation here. It displays top set I have on that well and various depth, logs, and some statistics for logs here. You can click on the log and you have in the well, and it will display the mean and max value and data you have. We can scroll up. One case to use it can be if you dig in Data Manager and try to find a type well to add into your new virtual project, and there is a particular log that you want to be included. Let's say you are looking for a well with a density or neutron log. So you don't have to go back and forth between StarSteer and Data Manager. You'll be able to see what's in that well directly from the table here. So you will notice that the data is organized into folders on the left side of the screen, similar to what we see in StarSteer. And this allows you to hide or display the specific data you want to work with. Let's say I'm looking for the polygons showing the lease lines in my area. I can select polygons folder here, and you see that the table now filtered by the object type polygon, and I can hide, for example, I can hide the objects I don't want to look at in the map window, or I can uh, for example, select some polygon and add it to a virtual project. You have the ability here also to create a new folder, to rename it, or even to delete it. And any changes made to folders here will be automatically applied to your object tree in the StarSteer project. So now let's activate the map view. So here is a button in the toolbar. Once I activated it, all our data is displayed on the Google Map interface. And the map view has its own set of tools available. We have different map layers here in the left corner, so we can easily switch to things like road map, or even some operators have requested just a blank background so they can screenshots for reports. And we can also turn on the townships. Let's switch back to satellite view. Uh, in order to activate the gun barrel, we have to hit the button here at the top, gun barrel plot. And currently, since no data is selected, you'll notice a message asking you, please select wells to use gun barrel. So to select the data, we usually use lasso tool button located at the top. So let's go and grab it. So we zoom in on our area of interest and draw a circle around the data you wish to include in the gun barrel visualization. In our case, I'm focusing on list 2 in preparation for the infill drilling campaign of this pad. However, I also want to examine data surrounding list 2. So let's go ahead and select the closest wells to list 2. I'm just drawing a big circle here. Once the wells are successfully selected, you can you can view them in the gun barrel visualization. And if you don't know what the gun barrel is, essentially this is a cross section where you are viewing the walls through the side view. On the plot, they look like the side of a gun, and what this is telling us is thin vertical line right here. This is a total extent of the well bore in the lateral, where inclination is more than 75 degrees. And we have the thick vertical line. It's a standard deviation of the well's TVT positions, where which represents approximately 68% of the well bore from average, which is where the cross here is. And you got a lateral distribution on the lateral axis here. This is a horizontal line, shows azimuthal deviation. And we are currently doing it in a TVT scale. So my TVT scale, and it is based on the geosteering interpretation of the active lateral well. And how do I know what my active lateral well? I see the little symbol here next to the label, next to the well name. In my case, the active well is Yosco Kinkler Unit 505H. And if I want to select a different active well, I can, let's unselect the lasso tool here, and we can manually drag this icon on the map view. And we can additionally easily change the azimuth. And it will take a second to, usually takes a second to catch up with me. So let's do it this way and update the gun barrel plot. It appears that some of the laterals circled on the map aren't reflected in the gun barrel plot. This could be due to the absence of geosteering interpretation for certain laterals, which might indicate competitor wells, let's say. In such cases, an alternative mode is available, so generating a gun barrel plot based on grids. By switching to this mode, all the wells circled on the map will now be displayed on the plot, regardless of their geosteering interpretation status. This mode presents a detailed view of all wells within the designated area, allowing for in-depth analysis and comparison. Whether reviewing competitor wells or assessing data based on various criteria, the grid-based gun barrel plot offers valuable insights and will support informed decision making. So typically, a project has many grids, and it's important to ensure that we are analyzing the latest versions updated with our lateral wells. So to do that, we have a drop-down menu here available featuring all the grids within the project. And this menu allows you to select and view the specific grids you wish to analyze, ensuring that you're assessing the most up-to-date versions aligned with your lateral wells. I recently updated all the regional grids with my laterals, so that is why I switched them on. I want to look at this and how my wells now sit relative to the updated regional grids. So you may have noticed that our gun barrel plot is generated in TVT scale, right? So all the grids are like sort of are presented like horizontal lines. However, we can switch to TVD Subscale to gain a different perspective and visualize the structure. Let's zoom out to observe the regional grid structure and the well location relative to the grids. So I can even do the QC of the grids here. What I'm looking at, I have my Lower Eagle Ford regional grid updated and upper 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 Eagle Ford, which I actually created with my lateral wells. So it looks like something goes wrong here. If you find yourself zooming out too much and you want to return to the previous view, you can just double click on the gun barrel plot and it will revert to the previous zoom level. So let's switch back to TVD mode. So we can also view the type well linked to the lateral, to the active lateral well. And to do that, here is a button on top. Let's toggle it on. And this allows us to display the linked type well log alongside the gun barrel plot. And it's important to note that the displayed log isn't limited to gamma ray. Actually, any available log in the type well can be shown. Let's go ahead and display resistivity. And then adjusting the scale of the log actually follows a similar process to that in StarSteer's vertical or horizontal tracks. So I just simply can drag it. And this flexibility enables us to fine tune the visualization here. I think I'm good. We can apply a ruler tool. So here is a button on the top toolbar. And to do that, I will have to close my mouse highlighter because it doesn't allow me actually to measure the distance. So we can click on individual well bores. And it will give me kind of a triangle measurements here between wells. And you can actually select multiple wells like this. I can also use it to measure the distance to lease line, from well to the lease line, which I have in StarSteer. Actually, these vertical lines are just vertical projections of the polygons, lease lines from my StarSteer project. These are my lease lines. And you can select whatever polygon you want to be displayed on a gun barrel plot from the drop-down menu here. Additionally, you have the capability to measure the distance between the polygons. And when measuring, the tool snaps to the polygons. Let's do it like that, you see, and it displays the distance in TVD domain. Now, to keep on the gun barrel only the measurements we need, we can easily clean your measurements by hovering mouse over it and clicking X button that appears. Let's clean it. We can leave one, or maybe let's measure this distance too. And between these polygons. Good. Okay, let's move on. For example, I may want to find another type well or analyze competitor wells trajectories to optimize my planned well trajectory for lease 2. Utilizing the public database integration will be valuable for these purposes. First of all, regardless let me turn it off. Regardless of whether you have a subscription to TGS or not, you can still display the data available in the TGS database. Simply click Public Data button located in the map view, and you will notice the public data appears on the map. So let me zoom it out to show it to you. I don't know if you can see these blue lines. Lateral wells are represented as thin blue lines here on the map, while vertical are black dots. And these are my TGS data. I want to show how easy it will be to bring competitors' data into your project based on TGS. So if you want to, if you have a subscription in TGS, you can log in here and easily display public data along with your data on the Gunbarrel, as well as import TGS directly to your Solar Cloud / Starseer project. You would be able to grab our favorite lasso tool again. Let's zoom in. Let me grab it. And you can circle the wells that are in public database. Once you have circled those wells, they appear on the Gunbarrel alongside with the wells from my project. So, and once I selected that, I see that the well from the TGS turned orange in the map view. And how do I understand what well on the Gunbarrel plot is from public database? It actually has a little symbol here next to the name. So in my case, this is Yosco Kinkler Unit 1H. And if I hover the mouse over the well, I see the message that this is a TGS public well and the well name here. You also can add public data sets to your solar project. To do this, you will see the message at the top showing you the status, the number of objects selected, and import button. Once I hit the import button, all data will be imported into my Solar Starseer project. And actually, to keep your project clean, all your data you bring from TGS will be imported directly into TGS wells folder. It will be created automatically for you once you start bringing data from TGS. So I now can analyze competitor wells data in Starsteer, update the formation structure grids, sort of create regional grids, whatever I want to do. And in the final step, we will integrate production data into the Gunbarrel plot. As we previously imported the attributes at the beginning of the webinar, we can now visualize this data directly within the Gunbarrel plot. To begin, we can adjust the size of the bubble based on a specific attribute. And we do have a button here to adjust the bubble size. Let's go ahead with the cumulative oil. I know that I imported this attribute, and next to the cumulative oil attribute, you will notice a small icon. This icon allows you to normalize the attribute data by the lateral length of the well, which is calculated automatically. You actually don't have to import the lateral length of the laterals. It will be calculated. Well, let's select it. So the size of the bubble right now, it corresponds to the oil production. And hovering mouse over the bubble allows you to view the precise amount of oil production. Additionally, you have the option to color the bubble based on another attribute. So here we go. This is a button to color, dot color. Let's go ahead and select total propant. Now the color indicates the volume of propant injected into the wells. Additionally, we can actually customize the color scheme to suit your preferences and enhance data visualization. Let's switch, for example, to Sunny Funny or, I don't know, Texas. My favorite actually is this one. Okay, so leave it as it is. While in the left corner of the gunbarrel plot, you will notice the legend for the bubble size. And when you hover the mouse over that, you can filter the wells based on the oil production amount. You see when I'm hovering mouse over that, how my wells are highlighted on the gun barrel. And the same way our legend for the color for propant works, you can see the values here. Finally, if I want to paste the gun barrel plot into my PowerPoint presentation, and display attribute values next to the well labels. So I can easily achieve this by opening settings, and I can toggle on the option for labels for the attributes, and you can actually choose up to 5 attributes you want to be displayed. And considering that the gun barrel plot has wells from both the solar project and public sources, you have the flexibility to adjust different attributes for these wells. So this customization allows you to tailor the presentation to your specific needs. I have already selected cumulative oil spot date, total propellant lateral length production status for my wells in solo to be displayed. And for TGS, I think, yeah, I do have, I don't have total propellant and production status, right? But I can display perf top, for example, perforation top. Okay, so to refine our gun barrel view, let's exclude the wells in the upper Eagle Ford. So drilled in the very top, in the very at the very top of Upper Eagle Ford, because I don't want to look at these wells at this time. And to do this, we'll use a lasso tool again. And I'm going to hold my Alt button and we'll circle the wells on the gun barrel that we want to exclude. And okay, jumped up. Okay, but this action actually removed those wells from the visualization, allowing for a clear and more focused analysis of the data. Finally, let's make some adjustments to the vertical and to the lateral scales to refine our visualization. All we need to do, just hover your mouse over the vertical scale and use the scroll wheel to adjust the scale accordingly. Okay, let's leave it as it is. You can adjust the horizontal scale in the same manner by hovering your mouse over it and adjusting the scroll wheel. These adjustments ensure that the gun barrel plot is accurately scaled and optimized for analysis, providing a clear and comprehensive representation of the data. So our gun barrel plot is now prepared for analysis showcasing our StarSteer solar data alongside competitor data from the public database. As you can see, it's user-friendly, it's interactive. There is no need to create a separate database to generate it, um, or you don't have to spend time in PowerPoint to create that manually. If you're working in StarSteer and your project is in solo, you're ready to utilize this powerful tool for your analysis needs. So it has intuitive interface and it makes it efficient for users at every level. That's it. And let's see if we have questions.
We have not gotten any in the Q&A or chat. If anyone does have any, feel free to send them to either.
Well, I don't see actually Q&A in chat.
Oh, okay. Then that's on me. Yeah, will the video be posted? Uh, and we'll be able to watch the recording again? Yes. We post all the webinar videos on the knowledge base. It might take us a few days to like save it out and get it over there, but it should be posted by sometime next week. And then from Kristen, not sure if she missed it, but can you shift the gamma rate type log? Julia, do you want to take that one or you want me to take it?
Yeah, you can take it.
Okay. So the gamma ray type log is tied to your interpretation and to your type well reference that was done in StarSteer. So the only thing you're doing is viewing it. It'll change based on whatever lateral you're looking at, but its position is determined by the reference that was done in StarSteer.
Any other
Yeah,
questions? No?
just comments, thanks. And yeah, the normalizing bilateral length is relatively new. That came out, I think, about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I think so. 2 or 3
Yeah.
weeks.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I forgot to mention. Yeah, so you can actually, like, if you're gonna make, let's say, a print screen of your gunbarrel plot and copy and paste it to your PowerPoint, and you can measure the distance between the polygons and leave it as it is, and it will be copied. It will be here. So it's wonderful, right?
Yeah.
This is such a powerful tool. I spent a lot of time creating this gunroll in PowerPoint manually. So you don't have to do that. It's ready for you.
And then stuff that's coming up on this in the next few months. Right now, we're showing lateral wells here. We will hopefully in about next 2 to 3 months, we'll be able to start showing your well plans and your sticks from well planning mode that you do in StarSteer on this gun barrel plot too. So you'll be able to visualize those alongside your laterals.
Yeah. Great.
All right, I think we'll stick around a few more minutes if there's any other questions. If not, I think that's all we got for you.
Okay.
All right, I think most people are heading out, so I think we can go ahead and sign off.